Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for May 27th. May 27th is the 147th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 148th in leap years, with 218 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is resilience. Resilience is a noun that means the ability to recover quickly from difficulties or bounce back from adversity. Resilience can also refer to the ability of a physical object or material to recover its size and shape after deformation, especially by compressive stress. The word comes from a Latin word that basically means to jump back or recoil. First known use of the word resilience is about 1807. Resilience. And with that, this is the birthday of Cornelius Vanderbilt, born May 27, 1794. His great grandfather had come to America as an indentured servant in 1650. All these years later, Cornelius became one of the richest Americans in history and wealthiest figures overall by building his wealth in shipping and railroads. He founded over a dozen railroads. Word has it he might not have been extremely refined. It was said of Cornelius Vanderbilt that he could be a rascal and a brute, but still honorable, shrewd, and hard-working. Cornelius remarried after his first wife died, and that second wife, who bore the unusual name of Frank, that second wife convinced Cornelius to donate $1 million to found Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee. He'd had 13 children with his first wife and left 95% of his $105 million estate to his oldest son, William, and the 4 grandsons through William. The remaining 5% of that huge estate broke down to a little over $500,000 each for the remaining son and 9 daughters, which was worth a lot more back then. But the remaining son and 2 of the daughters, rather than be happy to have inherited such a fortune, more than $500,000 each, were resentful that William and his children got so much more than they did and decided to sue, claiming that their father wasn't in his right mind when he drew up his will. That oldest son, William, won the case, but still gave those 3 each an extra $200,000 and a $400,000 trust fund, which he didn't have to do. Cornelius Vanderbilt lived to the age of 82 and is buried in the Vanderbilt Family Cemetery and Mausoleum on Staten Island, New York. The War of 1812 is so named because it began in 1812. It lasted a little over 2.5 years into 1815. This was a conflict between the newly minted United States and the British Empire and had sort of a cascading series of events as its cause. The War of 1812 is sometimes referred to as the Second War of Independence. For one thing, the Brits were trying to force American sailors to join the British Navy. The British had also imposed trade restrictions and blockaded American ports. On May 27, 1813, American forces captured Fort George, which is located on the Canada side of the Niagara River, north of Niagara Falls. There were a good many skirmishes to go before it was all over. For instance, the British captured and burned Washington, D.C. in 1814, and General Andrew Jackson achieved a decisive victory at the Battle of New Orleans in 1815. Interestingly, the 2 countries had come to terms and signed a treaty, the Treaty of Ghent, in December of 1814, but the War of 1812 was not officially over until that peace treaty was ratified by Congress in February of 1815. Now, before we get on to the song of the day, let me say that I'll include a link to a previous episode for May 27th in case you'd like to see what I talked about in a previous episode for this date. Today's song is Forever Your Girl by Paula Abdul. This is from her debut studio album of the same name. Written and produced by Oliver Lieber with additional production by Keith Cohen, Forever Your Girl was released as a single in February of 1989. The song is from the point of view of a girl who's loyal to her man. Forever Your Girl hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in May of 1989, where we find it beginning its second of 2 weeks in that position. Forever Your Girl by Paula Abdul. Link in the description. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoyed this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page that's called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Getter. All those links in the description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Do not disturb.
Okay, I turned Do Not Disturb on.
Good job. Third time better be a charm. There's no thee there. one more time. Attracting. Just read the whole thing over. Are you making some sound? Get on out of here. Yeah, we're gonna edit that out. Don't alienate people who can be helpful to you. Flinging happiness all over the place. Alrighty. Back to work. I think we got it this time.